Romulus killed his own brother to save a city that didn't exist yet. It wasn't hesitation that cost him. It was the opposite. On the Palatine Hill, sometime around 753 BCE, though even ancient historians couldn't agree on the exact year, a man made a choice under complete uncertainty. Romulus had a vision, a walled city where shepherds grazed goats. His twin brother Remus marked it. Remus jumped the ceremonial boundary line. Romulus killed him. That's the version Livy recorded. The cost was immediate, fratricide. The gain was invisible, a city. Before you judge the brutality, ask yourself what Romulus actually knew. He didn't know Rome would last 1,000 years. He didn't know it would become the center of the Western world. He knew he had a defensible hill, a river for trade, and a brother who just insulted him publicly, which, in a pre-state society, was an existential threat to his authority. Every founder operates in fog. Romulus made his decision with what he had, his conviction and his will. Stoics would later find a principle here, one that applies to anyone building something under pressure. Marcus Aurelius never wrote about Romulus directly, but he wrote endlessly about this. You control only your intention and your action. You don't control the outcome. Romulus couldn't guarantee success. He could only commit to the choice. That's the first hard lesson of legacy building. You don't wait for certainty. You act on principle with incomplete information. But there's a second principle embedded in what happened next. After Remus's death, Romulus didn't gloat. He didn't declare victory and rest. He built. He recruited settlers from surrounding villages, mostly men without land, without status. He created walls. He established a council of elders. He created ritual, the Lupercalia, the sacred boundaries, the pomerium. Every action reinforced the legitimacy of the city, not the legitimacy of his rule. This is where most people misread ancient ambition. Romulus wasn't building a throne. He was building a structure that could outlast him. The Stoic insight is subtle. Your personal legacy isn't your monument. It's the system you leave behind. Seneca would later say that to live well is to live for something greater than yourself. Romulus understood this instinctively. He was building Rome, not Romulus. The cost was staggering by any measure. He sacrificed his brother. He sacrificed anonymity. Every action was scrutinized. He sacrificed comfort. Founding a city meant years of labor with no guarantee of return. He sacrificed the moral simplicity of being a shepherd and became a political actor. These are the real prices of ambition, not failure, not money, not time, the loss of innocence, the burden of decision-making, the blood on your hands. And yet here's what modern professionals miss. The Stoics didn't say this was tragic. They said it was the price of meaning. Epictetus, born into slavery centuries later, taught that freedom isn't the absence of constraint. It's the power to choose your constraint. Romulus chose his. He chose the burden of building something. That choice, the Stoics would argue, is what makes a life worth examining. The practical application lands here. When you're facing a hard choice, whether to leave a job, start something, confront someone, or commit to a long project, you're not waiting for permission. You're not waiting for certainty. You're counting the actual costs in plain terms. What will you lose? Time, comfort, relationships maybe, peace of mind. Write those down. Then ask, is what I'm building worth that price? If yes, stop deliberating. Act. Rome lasted because Romulus made a choice that hurt him immediately but benefited the system forever. He didn't ask for comfort. He asked for legacy. That's not romantic. It's strategic. And it's available to you right now in whatever you're building, whether that's a business, a family, a skill, or a reputation. The question isn't whether you'll pay a cost. You will. The question is whether you'll pay it consciously towards something larger than yourself. That's the founding of Rome, not a myth of heroes. A case study in decision-making under uncertainty. A demonstration that the most durable things are built by people who chose their burden deliberately, who understood that legacy requires sacrifice, and who never confused their ambition with their worth. Subscribe. Each week, we examine how ancient thinkers solved problems you're facing right now. Subscribe. Each week, we examine how ancient thinkers solved problems you're facing right now.